Hello, and welcome to the SCLD podcast. I'm Erin Dodge with the Spokane County Library District, and with me today is Gwendolyn Haley. She is a librarian and also the Public Services Manager for Education Enrichment, which basically
is everything. We like to say it's programs and initiatives for ages 8 to 108,
yes.
And lots of fun.
And we're going to talk about some really cool programs that you brought into the library. And I remember how excited you were before they got here and we were talking about them. And there are museum and cultural passes and other passes.
Yes.
And so first let's talk about those museum and cultural passes.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited because the MAC, the Museum of Arts and Culture here in Spokane, has a really great exhibit right now called DreamWorks. And it's from the DreamWorks studio, and it's about the art and animation of their movies, like Madagascar and some of the big ones that, Shrek, and you can think of all of those. And that's available now until September. So if you're looking for a fun activity for your kids this summer, you can get a pass from the library. We actually have 2 family passes available a day for families to reserve.
That's great.
And you just go to our website and go to look for cultural passes, and then it's really easy. You pick your day and you make your reservation, print your pass for the day that you selected, and then show up with matching ID. And the MAC is a great visit. The exhibits change periodically, and so they'll have these really great big traveling exhibits, but there's also smaller galleries with always something new happening, and the grounds are a sculpture garden. So there's just a lot to look at as you walk around. And Campbell House.
Yes. I'm like, and also,
yeah, Campbell House is on the grounds, and it is included with the family pass, so you also can get a little peek into the history of Spokane.
Yeah.
And you can look at the website for the hours for when all of those are available. But it's such really a gem here and a treasure for us here in the Spokane region to be able to go and visit and look at our history and the traveling exhibits. It's a super cool place to go this summer.
And so, can you give us a little history? Like, where did this idea come from?
Well, I'm going to say other cities, much larger cities, have similar programs. Right. But, I talked to some folks at the MAC about, Spokane has these great opportunities. And one of the things we do as a library is try to provide opportunities for people to experience things, as well as we're always looking in education and enrichment for opportunities for people to expand their view of the world and their environment, and to learn and grow. And museums are really a big part of that. And so this was a way, and the foundation have sponsored that, I should say.
And we're talking about the Library Foundation of Spokane County.
Yes. So that's a way for us to expand the opportunity for families throughout our community who might not be able to buy a ticket or even be aware of the museum and what it has for their family to experience it. And we're so fortunate because the folks at the MAC agreed that museums are for everybody, and the library was a great partner to help make that a reality for families in our community. So we love that, and we love what they do. And for a smaller museum, they really do a great job of
They have really cool exhibits that come through there,
and they have the
local curated things.
Yeah, and they have a beautiful collection of local history, and especially Native American art and history. And so one of the things they're doing right now is someone is building a dugout canoe on the ground so you can watch the progress, and they're doing it the way that the Spokane people and other peoples here in the Inland Northwest have done for centuries, since time immemorial. And so seeing how that is created and what a big part of their culture and community canoes were and waterways. It's really cool. So there's some really great exhibits. You can learn about animation, you can learn about our local history and about the people who lived here before my family, before your family. It's really an amazing resource for all of us.
Yes. And we have, so the Northwest MAC is part of the Museum and Cultural Passes. What else do we have in that group?
We're very fortunate because the Mobius here in Spokane is available, and also 2 family passes a day. And I should say family passes for 2 adults and up to 4 children in the same household.
Yeah,
and
so 6 peeps.
6 peeps. And if they're under the age of 2, they get in free anyway. But it's a wonderful science center and children's museum with hands-on activities.
Yes.
It's in a really cool building.
It's a Discovery Center, and it's kind of right by the river. And
it's between City Hall and the river, and then Old Vista building. So there's some really great rich history there too, but also so many cool exhibits that they have going on. And again, 2 passes a day, and same process. You go to our website and then go to the reservation calendar and you pick the day that you want to go and you reserve your pass and show up on the day with it printed out. You can also use your phone, and you just need to bring ID that matches the name of the person on the pass.
Make sure you're who you say you are.
Who you say you are, yeah. So, and again, the good folks at Mobius, when we approached them with this idea, agreed with us that we want the Children's Museum and the Science Center to be for everybody in our community. And it's another great way for families who might not otherwise check it out, to go and see that, yeah, this is for us. And they have traveling exhibits and activities, and it's just a really
And
good
it's since
time.
merged into one location with the Discovery Center.
Right,
is what it's now.
exactly.
Mobius. And I have to say, I've been there a few times. And last time, my son and I, and my daughter too, we built with like paper and popsicle sticks these air rockets,
Mm-hmm.
where you build it, you put it on the little tube, and then you push the air, and
you launch
see
it.
how high it can go. You
Yes.
launch it.
Super fun.
It was a little competitive. Who could launch the highest,
Exactly.
and who's went the craziest? And
Right.
one of them went out of the tube and out, and one got stuck. It was fun.
It's a great family day. Yeah, we brought our kids down since they were itty bitty, and lots of fun to be had, and really great because it's all hands-on learning. They have turtles to look
I was going to
at.
say the
The
turtles.
turtles are super cool, and the staff there is great.
Yes.
They have staff and volunteer docents who are available to answer questions, and it's a great environment just to let your kiddos explore and see what they can learn while they play.
Exactly. Great. And I'm thinking of another cultural pass that it's a little seasonally, because
Mm-hmm.
what they do is seasonally. Do you want to talk about that?
Drew, you were talking about the symphony?
Symphony.
Oh, the symphony, yeah. And they just finished their season for this
Right.
year, but we're very fortunate again to partner with the symphony, and we have Symphony Passes available. And this is a little different because instead of a family pass, you sign up for between 1 to 4 passes per year.
And that's so one pass is one person,
One
one
pass
seat.
is one person,
Okay.
one pass is one ticket, basically. And so you can, those become available a couple times a year through the symphony. And it's a great way to just go down and experience the symphony. And again, what a treasure our symphony is.
I
And the
know.
environment in the Fox Theater is amazing.
Oh, that's such a beautiful theater.
Yeah.
It's
And
so gorgeous.
we work with them, and we have passes for their Masterwork series for selected concerts throughout that, usually 2 in the fall and 2 in the spring. And it's a great opportunity. And we've heard from people in our community that, they haven't been to the symphony in years, or they've never been. And so it's a chance to just go and find out what an exciting environment it is. And the theater is beautiful. And there's
The
something,
acoustics are so good.
there's not a bad
I've never
seat.
been to a symphony before. I've been to some plays and different things, and I went, I don't know, pre-pandemic,
Mhm.
and the experience was almost overwhelming. It was emotional.
It really is, because you can listen to the same piece performed on the radio or on a CD, and you go, yeah, that's lovely. But
Yeah.
there's something about watching really excellent
Yes.
performers perform and play their instruments live in front of you, and the sense of
You feel it.
this is happening right now. It was breathtaking. I
Yes.
agree, and
So good.
so much fun, and it's such a beautiful environment. And
Yes.
the passes that we have are available for the Sunday matinees,
Right.
which is great. So those concerts are like Sundays at
Noon,
3,
1, 2, 3,
yeah, somewhere in there. And you have to pick up your tickets at least 2 hours before.
Maybe that's where the noon was coming in.
Probably.
Pick them up by noon.
Yeah, you
and
have to pick them up at
the-
noon.
Something
And
like
the
that.
great thing is also that often there's a lecture beforehand that's free to attend, so you can get and then come and hear the James Lowe. They call it the Down Low with Lowe. He'll talk about the pieces that they'll be performing and why they chose them and what's special about them or technically difficult,
Yes.
and just really, really stellar musicians
Yes.
performing their craft, and it's lovely, and it's such an inspiring venue too. And yeah, if you haven't taken your kids, or if you're looking for something fun to take, parent to,
Yeah.
moms and dads love that kind of stuff. Yeah, check out the Symphony Passes, and they're usually available. They become available on our website to reserve 2 weeks prior to the concert. So for the new season, when we arrange our passes, we'll have that information available, and then you just need to check it out. Look, Monday morning.
Yeah, and if you go to our website, www.scl.org, and we usually will have some sort of like banner across the website that says symphony.
Yeah.
Or you just type in search Symphony Passes.
Yeah. And we are so fortunate again in Spokane to have institutions like the Symphony who recognize that they want the symphony to be for everybody.
Yes.
And again, sometimes people have a sense that like a museum or a symphony is somehow fancy. It's not for me. It's for somebody else, and it's for all of us. These are resources and cultural experiences in our community that are for everybody.
And they're incredible experiences for sure.
Mhm.
And I think something about that, I think people might feel intimidated, and you don't need to.
Nope.
You don't need
And
to.
I love Spokane because you can wear whatever you want to the symphony. Some people dress up, and some people wear jeans, and it's just like that.
That is exactly my experience.
Mhm.
I was somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
in terms of dressing up.
Yeah, it's
So.
lovely.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to shift from cultural passes to some little bit of talk about outdoors.
Yes.
And so if you love the outdoors, you're going to love this next one. We're going to talk about the Checkout Washington
Yes.
Discover Pass backpack.
Here it is. So we're really fortunate. We were part of the pilot project to bring Checkout Washington to Washington State. There were 4 library systems involved across the state, and we were one of them in Spokane County. And it was a partnership with the foundation, the State Parks Foundation, and Washington State Parks and the State Library. And since that pilot project, actually, there has been a new RCW that these passes are available to libraries for free across the state. So it's a new law that our legislature passed to make parks accessible to our communities through the libraries. So when you check out one of these backpacks.
So before we dive into the backpack, can we just talk about the Discover Pass real quick? Do you have one here?
Yes, I do.
What for folks that just don't know, aren't familiar, what is a Discover Pass? What does it do? What does it get you?
Yeah, the Discover Pass basically gets you onto public lands and state parks in Washington State. So you need one of these in your car.
So it's the state parks across all of Washington State.
All of Washington State. We have a lot.
And if you didn't have one of these, you could purchase a day pass.
Right. The day passes cost about $10. A lot of times when people renew their tabs, they might buy one for the year if they're going to use it. But if you've not been to our state parks and you want to try it out, this is a great way to do it. You can borrow it from the library. We have them. They come with a backpack. This hangs, on your car so you can park.
And it's a special. It says library on it.
It's very clear.
Yep.
And then when you check out a pass, we provide some extra materials for you, which kind of make it a lot of fun. We have some brochures.
Can I hold those?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take these.
Those are field guides. I love those. They're Washington State plants, flowers.
Okay, so we got wildlife. Trees and wildlife. Ooh, that's gonna be fun. And birds.
Yeah, and I like those because they're very durable, and it's not like a whole book you're trying to what is that? You can kind of pull it out and just see what you're looking
look at all of those.
There's also a map to all the Washington State parks.
I just keep going on. Look at that.
I know, it's so cool. But we have, just even here in Eastern Washington, I mean, within our county, we have Riverside State Park, which is beautiful. And, any time of year that you visit, there's something different to see. But also, if you go a little bit further north, an hour or two, Gardner Cave is available as one of our state parks. And they have tours of the cave, and you can visit that with this pass. We also have the Palouse Falls if you go south of Spokane County. And that's really spectacular because out of nowhere, if you haven't been there, you park and you're like, what is this? And then you kind of get, and then it's
I've not been there. I've driven down there tons.
Yeah, and there's this beautiful waterfall. And I think of waterfalls as being up in the mountains.
Yes.
And this is like you're looking down at it, and you wouldn't know it was there if you didn't know it was there and go looking for it. It really is stunning, and it's beautiful. Lots of places like that to visit. You can take it, when you check them out, they check out for 7 days. So if your family's going camping, you would have to have a Discover Pass as well as the camping fee. This allows for day use.
Okay.
So if you're going to go and spend some time hiking and exploring or picnicking in the park, that's what this pass is for. And then if you were going to go camping, after a couple of days, you would need to just pay for your camping site. But pretty affordable, easy to do. The really exciting news that we have this year, I should mention also, come with binoculars. So when you're looking at those cool birds and you cannot get close enough because they keep flying away, we actually have binoculars included in each
so many birds
backpack. These are nice, good quality binoculars. They're suitable for bird watching or trying to get a closer look at something up ahead. We picked them because they were pretty durable. They come with a strap.
More birds
and fish and
wildlife,
all kinds of cool stuff. So all of this comes in the backpack, so it's just perfect because then you can throw that as snack and your
a sweater,
whatever you need, water bottle, and off you go to explore.
And so we've had these passes in the backpack for a few years now, like you said, we're part of the pilot project, but something exciting just happened this year.
Yes.
And we're getting even more. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Washington State Employees Credit Union sponsored an additional influx of these Check Out Washington Discover packs for libraries in the state because we really were excited about the idea of families who aren't necessarily going outside with their kids and not accessing our parks, really having the chance and making it super easy for them to just go and explore.
Nice.
So we're getting an additional 44.
Wow.
And when these first came, they were so popular. You know, you check them out like you do anything else and put a hold on it like a book. But we would have like 20 people waiting.
A big
to
wait
one.
list. And
Yeah.
so we had 22, and now we're getting 44.
Yeah,
So 66.
So that wait list just
Woo!
went. And so the odds of you walking into the library and actually having one available to check out that day are actually pretty good.
That's great.
I'm super excited with the generosity of WSECU and also the Parks Foundation
Yes.
making these available because they paid for not only the backpacks but also the binoculars and all of the things that go in
All of
the
all the
backpack, all
goodies.
the peripherals. And so that's really exciting. But I have to say, if you have not taken your kids to a state park, you know, grab a pass. It's a really easy thing to do. Go check out Riverside
I
State
gotta
Park.
go to the caves.
Yes, go to you're right here in town. You can access Riverside State Park in a number of different places
Yes.
and take your kids on just a walk, and see what you can find. Do a little scavenger
Down the
hunt.
bridge across Riverside State
Yeah,
Park.
the bridge is really cool, and it's just so neat to see and to be outside. And I think you know, there's so much research about how beneficial it is for not just kids but for adults to spend time outside.
Yes.
And if you've seen anything online about the challenge, like 1,000 hours outside,
Yes.
you know, one of the things that we know is that kids on average spend probably 2 or more hours on average in front of screens inside
Yes.
every day, which if you spent 1,000 hours outside, you would be spending as much time outside as your kids are inside. And so
Yes.
that's a great goal. It seems like a lot, but
It's
it's
a
really
lot.
like if you spend like an hour a day outside or a couple hours on the weekend, suddenly you're balancing out how much time your kids are spending inside. And that's really important, not just for their physical health, but for everyone's mental health. We all could use a little mental health boost. And May is Mental Health Month.
Yes.
But spending time outside is so good for us. There's
Yes.
something just grounding about it, but also it de-stresses. So setting your phone, you know, putting your phone down, taking deep breaths, really being in the moment, looking for flowers and birds.
and insects and birds and
Yeah,
bugs.
and I will say, when I was in elementary school, I went through a big wildflower stage. I don't know why, but I was identifying wildflowers left and right, and I had so much fun with that. And now's a great time. Things are blooming
oh my
like
gosh.
crazy.
Yes.
But even when they're not blooming, there's still so many unique plants and animals and insects and birds here in Eastern Washington. We're so fortunate to live in this part of the world.
It's
15 minutes in either direction, and
and you got someplace amazing to go
Yeah.
and be outside and be outdoors.
Mhm.
This is true.
Yeah.
Well, this is another great set of materials, program, service that the
Yeah.
library does, and
And you can access it on your own and your time. And all you have to do is just reserve a pass through the library website, which is, can I say this now?
yes,
Oh, thank you. www.scl.org.
you forgot the T.
I did. I forgot the name. We'll fix that at post.
No,
www.scld.org. That's why you do it every time.
Well, you know, I practice a lot.
So yeah, it's really easy, but yeah, all of this is to make it just really accessible for you and your family and your friends to get out there and enjoy nature or the cultural institutions we have in our community.
This is wonderful, and thank you for the work you do to bring all of these services, programs, passes in. It's amazing. I know I've benefited. My kids have benefited, and I know lots of other library customers have as well. So thank you so much for that.
It's really my
And
pleasure.
It's and welcome and thank you, and we're just so glad that you're here at the library and everything you do. Okay, you're going to go ahead and get a pass, and you're going to go outside and you're going to have some fun, or go to the museum. Anyway, check it out at www.scld.org, and we'll see you next time.